What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. Welcome back to Inside the Lines. No NBA tonight, but we will be getting ahead for Friday, a little bit for Saturday as well, too. We got a few player props we want to get to there. So we'll just break down the two games. Not too much baseball going on today, not too much in college. A lot of the MLB games already finished. So let's take a look back at yesterday because that was pretty fire. Look at all those green check marks. This is big. This is big. Steven, how are we feeling? Oh, you're muted. That might be my bad.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
That wasn't me. That was you. But we hit our fifth straight NBA profitable day, which is nice. And as we thought, not mega profits, but during this time of year, you're hoping to eke out a 3-2 like last night. I do feel good. I feel very good when what I say it actually happens to the point where like the Chicago Bulls will win because they will out rebound Atlanta by a large margin. And that combined with Kobe White going off, but still, I felt pretty good about that.
You're so intelligent. And Jake took your 2 picks because he trusts you so well and parlayed them for plus 160. And now the team is up even more. Mr. Kelly Oubre, my God, did we
awesome.
Have to sweat it out, but we got there. The fact that it came down to 2 free throws, I was looking at my roommate who's a Philly girl too. She was watching and I was like, I can't watch these free throws. Like, I'm going to have to get up. I can't do this. So I was in the other room.
I messaged you and you're like, oh, we just need 2 more free throws. And then he's like, oh,
that was never nice. A doubt. Mr. Duncan Robinson didn't want to join the party though. So that's fine.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah. Could be a good spot, I guess. If they're going to play him, they're going to play him the whole game. So maybe, I don't think he has lines posted yet, does he?
I wouldn't trust that he'll play because again, if that injury, it's something to do with his neck, I think.
Oh,
and it's a weird one that I've never heard of. So and I think it is like really creates stiffness and it's painful. So if he's limited defensively, and like even a few years ago when he just rode the bench for a year because Spoelstra didn't like his defense, so maybe they really don't trust him to play defense if he can't move.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's break down those games here. We'll start with, what do you want to start with? Whatever you want.
Oh, well, might as well go to Chicago, Miami. Just updated because, Terry Rozier was ruled out. He had lines posted. So, it does impact, but it's kind of hard to tell. So Jaquez, we cruised to that over in the first, I think early in the second quarter, because his line was 6.5, which was insulting to him. But now it's been up to like 13.5, 14.5. So we don't have Jaquez value. The pick we were thinking about is maybe his assist. The one I feel very good about, well, let me jump to this one because I was about to. Tyler Hero. Unfortunately, I think it's now 24.5 is the best price at even like minus 105. So it's gone up a full legit point. I still like it over even at 24.5, probably not 25.5 though. So he does average 2 more points when Jimmy Butler doesn't play. And, the sample size will be too small, but with Rozier also out, that helps. He had like 27 field goal attempts last game. So I can't imagine him not getting at least 18 in this one. Other players that might get many more minutes, like Haywood Highsmith, aren't high volume shooters. So it's not like they're going to replace, so he'll get all the shots he'll want, I would think. Mm-hmm. Good chance that he'll get enough field goals as he does to get over the points.
Yeah, I like this play. I do foresee it steaming up as well. I mean, there's literally no other option for him than to just launch up so many shots here in this game.
Yeah. So the other one I like here is Vucevic over 17.5 points for Chicago because he's got a very strong road trend for the year. A full 1.1 point higher average on the road with 23 and 15 over. He comes in with 4 straight overs, all 24 plus points. So for him, they talked about on the broadcast yesterday that his 3-point shooting, he's a career 34% shooter. I think 2 years ago he was like 36, 35. And then this year he's been terrible, 29. But he's showing signs of coming out of it. So he's 13 of his last 38. I think that's a 5-game stretch. Or in a 9-game stretch. So he's been taking a decent amount. For a guy who's been shooting terribly all year, the coaches are still telling him, shoot. And he's not lost confidence. And he's at least shooting the same percentage he has for his career. So in this case, I like the fact that, he's not lost any confidence in himself or from the coaches. He is starting to hit threes at a more normal rate. And he's taking a lot of them. So 18 points is easy.
Well, his 3-point line's 1.5 at plus 110. Do you like that at all?
I don't. Yeah, he has 6 of his last 9 games. He's had 2, but exactly 2. So if he's going to get it over, he's going to get over, by half.
Yeah, I maybe would like that more like plus 130, I guess.
Yeah, I would too.
This is a good question about Bam, just without Jimmy in general. Looking at his assists, I was curious about his point production as well. Goes from, Stephen, correct me if I'm wrong, 18 points per game with Jimmy to 22 without Jimmy. And then I think that probably increases even more with Terry out too.
You would think, but then overall, his last few years, his average goes down in the playoffs. Maybe he takes more responsibility defensively, and
he's averaging 4.8, 22 points, 11 rebounds, 4.8 assists in 21 games without Jimmy this season. And with Jimmy, he is averaging 18, 10, and 3.5. So yeah, he averages 1.3 more assists without Jimmy. So he's definitely getting the ball in his hands. But then, some players aren't built for the playoffs.
This doozy always scares me. I don't even look at assists anymore because I told you it's my worst. Well, rebounds and assists are now worse, but I'm not going to do it. So I don't know what an assist is.
I mean, 5 assists seems like a lot. What if we buy Bam down and we buy Jamie Hawkes up?
So Jaime Hawkes like 5 plus assists and Bam 3 plus or something like that. Plus 500.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay on FanDuel and I was looking because right now the only Hawkes lines there are is 4.5. All right, it's 2.5 at minus 150. Pretty much across the board, and there's only like 4 books that have it. So I'm seeing if there's any 3.5 alt lines where you get like plus 120, because in 4 games against Chicago, he has 4 plus assists in 3 of those games. Hawkes.
Yeah, we gotta do our research on that. We'll definitely come out of the show with some kind of Hawkes.
What's like? Is Haywood Highsmith? Does he have like a 1.5 assist line? That's not too bad. Because he gets a lot of minutes when the guards are hurt. And like I said, he's not a big shooter. He doesn't take a ton of shots.
I don't see it on.
But he can, he might be somebody who, just because he's a backup with 1.1 assists a game, might have a line of like 1.5 at
There's not even any lines posted for Highsmith yet.
All right. We'll look at it tomorrow.
We'll monitor that.
Yeah.
That'll be on the list. What else in this game?
Alex Caruso isn't part of the current projection, but they just posted on Twitter that he might be able to play. Andre Drummond stepped on his ankle pretty bad. So this will be updated. Right now, we do have a slight lean on Dosunmu, overs, because he played really well. Kobe White was awesome, but they're all pretty good last night.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good stuff. I think Bam, we'll just, while we have this game up, because these are 2 games to talk about for today, I have some thoughts. I'd like to get it out off my chest that I am very close to taking Bam over half a 3 at plus 130. Threw up 2 the other night, threw up 1 attempt the night before that. Certainly the month of April has been far more 3-point attempts than he's had this entire season. I would think that Jimmy being out affects just about everybody to have a little more sense of urgency to put some points on the board. So, and Chicago has one of, I think, if not the worst 3-point defenses in the league.
And there's also the he's due factor because he's missed, his last 3. So
exactly. I like
3 reds in roulette. There's no way the next one's not a black.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as he takes 1, it's pretty much easy money.
Exactly. That's all we need. All right. I think that's all we have right now for that game. We can certainly come back to it. We'll head over to the other game, Kings, Pelicans, Zion-less Pelicans here, which I've tried to find my best way to handicap the Zion-less Pelicans and find some props there, but we'll let you get at it first.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, let me jump to the one that is specific with Zion out. Is Larry Nance, blocks and steals.
I was thinking about Larry Nance.
So I like this because the model has at 1.7 because he averages 1.3, but he averages just under 20 minutes a game this year. There's a decent chance that he could get 28, 30 minutes without Zion there. And so over the last 2 seasons, his highest minute games were, and they were like 26 or more, is 17 and 14 over on these 2 stats. So I'm pairing this plus 160 on over 1.5 blocks and steals with CJ McCollum also at plus 165 blocks and steals, because there's no way one of them doesn't get at least 2 of these, right? So I think worst case scenario, I'm looking at a 1-on-1 plus 0.6 a unit. But with a decent chance of plus 3.2 on a 2-0 night, and basically no chance on 0-2 on these 2 picks, right? So it's McCollum, he averages 1.5. He's actually a pretty good shot blocker at home. I remember, I think I got a pick early in the year on him over half a block at home. Plus money on a line that's at his average, very good plus money. I think he's also motivated because he played really poorly against the Lakers.
Okay. He averages 1.5 on the season?
Yeah, blocks and steals.
That's crazy.
Combined.
Why is this plus 165?
I don't know. That's why I think it's a lock.
That makes way too much sense.
Yeah.
Larry Nance, I see some people talking about him in the chat. I was thinking about him earlier. I think his point line is really low, but I think I was doing some research with some of our coworkers over in the production area. I think he averages 3 points against the Kings.
Yeah,
so
but it's like minutes.
Right.
He has 10 and 13 his last 2 games, both against the Lakers, and he's played pretty well. He's actually
6.5 for his points.
He's a surprisingly skilled passer, and remember, Zion, Zion was playing a basic 0.4, so they're not going to give Larry Nance the ball like Zion got it. But if you're looking for, he's a guy that can pass it out for spot up shooters the way Zion could. He's a super athlete in terms of pure vertical leap. He's not the so again, poor man Zion, maybe they give him that kind of role, and so his assists could be high.
Mm-hmm. Nance assists?
Yeah, I mean he's his last 2 games he had 5 and 4, and I think when he was on Cleveland, didn't he have, look it up, Jake, didn't he have some years where he had like a ton of assists for because you just never thought of him as that player, but he's an underrated passer, especially
Let's
on a per minute basis.
Right now, it is.
He had 2 seasons where he averaged 3+ assists,
which is very good for a guy because he's rarely like a full-time heavy minute starter. The computer's freaking out a little bit right now, so forgive me. 1.9 assists as a backup power forward in less than 20 minutes a game is pretty good. So he's basically a 4 assists a game guy if he was playing heavy minutes.
Which he will be.
Yeah, which he has a good chance to, right?
All right, over 2.5 assists, lock of the year. Might be giving that out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have a play on this game that I'll put on here right now for Kenz's prop party, but I wanted to get it today because I do not believe it will be plus money tomorrow. But Herb Jones over 1.5 3 points made, just trying to figure out where the shot volume is going to go. That's not in Zion's hands. Thinking about who he'd be matched up with against the Kings feels like a more favorable situation for him, and the ton of volume from him the past few games he's played, which is what I really look at for 3-point attempts. But at least 4 attempts in this whole month feels like.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to get it. He's just got to go one for it's a 1.5 is the line at plus money. Let's see, what's his average? He averages 1.5 on the season. That's obviously with Zion playing a good chunk of that. So plus money on a line that's at or below their average is, you got to go with it.
Yeah, gotta. Let me make sure there's not a better line out here. Yeah. Oh, plus 120 now. Who's got that, Bally? That's not a real book, but whatever. I'll take it. Yeah. Okay. Any other plays on this game you have, Steven?
No, a guy that I'm not sure what to do with is Keon Ellis, and I'm probably over because he has some big offensive shooting games. But just because I got his stinker, it's like scarred me. So I want to report that as but the model doesn't like his over, but he's been really. He took a ton of shots against Golden State. So, and then Keegan Murray was awesome against Golden State, and he's a great player. So.
I'll be honest, I'm just struggling to find plays I'm in love with here with this game, with the whole slate particularly, but this game more so than the other game.
How high is Keegan Murray's 3-point line? It must be 3.5.
I think it was outrageous from what I
Yeah.
remember. It's
Just curious.
3.5 at even money.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a very high number.
Yeah, there's tons of some of the numbers I've been looking at are just not making sense. But Herb Jones, I like. That's really about it.
All
But
right.
maybe more things to come tomorrow when we get some more information. Let's head on to the Saturday slate. One series we want to get into early, the Knicks Sixers here. Some lines that potentially could lose some value here. Should be a nice, fun matchup here. But we'll start with the return of OG.
Yeah, OG Anunoby, 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I think I go up. Model has 23.3. So this would have been a lock last season when he was in Toronto. He was 44 and 23 last season. So, and I see his role, going back to that with the Knicks. So the Knicks are, interestingly, the Sixers are kind of slight favorites to win the series because they have such a good record with Embiid. They were like 31-8. But the Knicks have an even higher winning percentage with OG Anunoby than they're 20-3 with him. He came back from his elbow injury, and so there's some buy low value because he hasn't been shooting as much or as well. But I figure he's had almost a week off. But he's been playing a lot of minutes, 33 plus minutes in 6 of his last 9. So I kind of see this as the opportunity to get him to while he's going to be playing an important role with major minutes and hopefully fully recovered from his injury.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm not against it, but I mean, I kind of am. But I do like your other your Sixers play you got here.
Yeah, this is just ripping you off from last night.
I mean, he didn't even hit this last night, so it's still a good buy low spot.
So and he had some. I think he had some foul trouble. He started slow. At
foul
one
trouble,
point, looked like he got hurt. So but he poured it on, and so he for the half, his second half, it was good. So again, the same logic applies that he has nearly an 18 average last month. Got some buy low value here. He's much better on the road. He has a 16-point average with a 22-12 road record.
Dang.
Over.
I'm in. Yeah. I think
great numbers for the Knicks. They played a lot recently, and he's got a 19 average, 7-0 his last Knicks games versus the Knicks. So that includes last season with Washington.
Oh, nice. Some people play well there. Some people don't.
Yeah.
All right. One more play here. Going back to the Villanova boys.
Yeah, DiVincenzo, because it's really good plus money at 4.5 rebounds. So obviously for the season, it's fading the season trend. But the last month, he's been playing more like he did the last 2 seasons, where he's a 4.5 rebound player. So I kind of see him. Even though it's not technically plus money on a line that's lower than his average, I think it is in spirit because he's been averaging 4.5.
There's nothing better than finding players like this and going for their rebounds and not their 3-point prop and stuff like this. But that's where you make the money. I like it.
Yeah, because they come in bunches. They just seem to just.
How's Josh Hart triple-double looking over here?
It's not looking for good. Not great. Yeah. And let's see. The other ones are. I mean, we have value. We have value in points for a lot of the players in this game because we like the over. We like the slightly over for Philadelphia's team total and 3 points over for the Knicks. So, and with the Knicks relying so heavily on their starters, we could do over in points for quite a few of these guys.
Yeah. Jake, do some double-double research for me for Josh Hart here.
Josh Hart double-double?
See if it's worth any
sprinkle.
I do think.
Yes, I am. Sue me.
One thing about this series is interesting is when I entered this data, it's pretty much minus 110 on both sides, which is not normal to see a 2 seed be even. And then most sports books were leaning Philadelphia. FanDuel was all over the place. They were all the way at minus 130, minus 135 Philadelphia. Now it's swung back to minus 110. So I think again it goes back to that Embiid playing 31-8 record for Philadelphia. But I think the Embiid we saw, clutch shots aside, you saw him still laboring to move effectively, and he missed 3 or 4 layups, which could have delivered my over. So I still think I do believe in the Knicks. I don't think the odds makers do.
I don't either. So
Plus
there.
100. You and maybe that has to do with you being a Philly fan. I think
Maybe, but that's actually my professional opinion because I'm a professional adult. So.
Yeah, exactly. But then New York has their the Philadelphia roots with all those Villanova guys. So
Oh yeah, that's going to
it's
be a
interesting.
Philly. That's going to be basically a neutral site game.
Yeah.
Both
So
everywhere
we
it
like
goes.
we like the Knicks in 4, 5, and 6, and it could be interesting to put a unit on each. You know,
Could
at
be.
these numbers at plus 600 as on your worst in 5.
Yeah. All right.
Knicks 4 plus 1400 and lock it in.
I mean,
That isn't very
Yeah.
professional opinion of you either, Jake.
It's such a professional opinion.
so if the worst payoff with 3 units is plus 6, so that's that's a pretty good, and we have it at combined percentage of 45%. So
Mhm.
I think that's worth it.
Yeah.
Right? You would do it at plus, if you get 120, 130, and in this case you're getting essentially plus 300.
That's true. Still not going to do it, but that's smart.
Well, you could always hedge happiness.
Uh,
Well, there's no happiness when you're a Knicks fan, though. So
Yeah.
I don't have much happiness.
I'm not in. I'm not buying any of it. I'm going to show the recap screen to get this stupid little Knicks stuff off of our screen here. Some early. Oh, wrong one. Please hold, everyone. Some early picks though for the slates here coming. Here it is. Sorry, guys. Let's get a little recap screen if it wants to show up. We can show our green check mark one again for now because we're kind of been crushing it. Here we go. I know playoffs haven't technically started yet, but we're kind of kicking their ass. So hopefully we can keep that up. Things are looking pretty good so far. Hopefully we get some early value with these plays here. Tomorrow we can certainly unpack some questions about these games as well. It says Tuesday recap. It is super not Tuesday, but you know what? We can't be perfect. These are the right plays. And then we'll hit some more Saturday plays as well because we got a ton more Saturday games to get through, right, guys?
Yeah, we can do the game ones for all the
Yes.
known matchups.
Yes, beautiful time of year. We got some baseball we'll be getting to as well. But again, any questions, feel free to reach out to us. No basketball tonight, but certainly tomorrow. Bring your questions for tomorrow's show and for the weekend, and we will see you guys then.